Andrea.
How you doing?
Good. I called you here so we can go over my project. As you know, we've been meeting several times a week to discuss low enrollment in our Head Start programs. So I've made a PowerPoint here to go over some topics for improving enrollment numbers in Head Start. So a little bit about our background. As you know, Families and Children Together Incorporated, also known as FACTI. We operate as a single-purpose, nonprofit organization. We were established in 1995, and we were designated as a Head Start program. And FACT Inc. Helps families get on track with their getting their GED. If they are having a problem with substance abuse, we offer substance abuse counseling, marriage counseling, and other types of programs. And over the years, Head Start has been dealing with low enrollment problems. And if low enrollment continues, we could possibly lose our funding, and many of our teachers can be without jobs. So my purpose of my project was to determine what is causing such low enrollment here, and what we can do to keep our company open. So some problems that have been occurring with low enrollment are that FACT Inc. has so many rules and regulations that the parents have to follow. It's becoming a hassle for the parents. The program is constantly competing with pre-K programs to stay afloat, and only low-income families are accepted here at Head Start, as opposed to pre-K and First Step, where they accept all children and families of different economic backgrounds. And all of our families are required to have at least 3 home visits in a year, which is causing a lot of frustration with the parents. Here's a copy of the RCA procedures that was revised in January of 2017. And here it says that it is the goal of the FACT Inc. family to have achieved 80% of slots filled with eligible applicants by the end of May for the previous school year. It has been updated to state that FACT Inc. will utilize 101 to 130% of over-income category, which is counted separately from the general over-income category, so that the problem with low enrollment is not coming from not having enough children meeting the criteria. It's coming from somewhere else. Some research methods that I used were surveys that were completed by the parents of the Head Start children. I analyzed the enrollment records and the drop records. Some questions that were on my survey included if the parents considered the enrollment process to be time-consuming, if Head Start's child care hours are convenient for the parent, and if the parent has ever considered pulling their child from the Head Start program. The results of my findings were that in August of 2010, enrollment was at 100% full capacity, and all of the slots were filled in all of the classrooms. But towards December, by the middle of the school year, enrollment had dropped to less than half of the slots. And the same is true for 2012 and for 2014. The enrollment process takes too long and is a hassle for most parents, which was stated in one of the surveys that was conducted by the parents. And the majority of parents that answered the survey had thought about taking their children out of the Head Start program. Here's a chart to show you the enrollment numbers that have for 2010, 2012, and 2014. August is in the green and December is in the blue. You can see here that in 2010, where Head Start enrollment numbers were at 100%, dropped to 70%. In 2012, we didn't even start out at 100%. We started at 94% and dropped to 64% by December. And in 2014, we started at 91% and ended with 55%. Some areas of concern are funding, loss of funding. We would have to recompete to gain funding and possibly end up with a closure of the program. Some classrooms could be closed down in order to keep enrollment numbers up, and a wage drop could occur, which would, cause our staff to lose a lot of their income. So some proposed options to solve this enrollment problem are: we could make changes to the way the enrollment process is conducted and make the process easier for parents. Or we could lessen the amount of responsibilities that is placed upon the parents. The benefits of changing the enrollment process would be that the parents would feel less pressured into getting their children to school. Shorter enrollment processing means more time for FSAs and teachers to be searching out possible candidates for the program, and less work for the enrollment specialist at central office, and more applicants will arrive. Benefits of lessening the responsibilities of parents include that the parents will be more eager to participate in their child's education. Parents will not feel forced to submit to home visits. More parents will enroll their children in the program, and attendance numbers will remain stable throughout the year. And parents will not take their children out of the program to find schools that require less of the parent. So my recommendation would be to lessen the responsibilities of the parents. There's not a lot of work that's required for this. It'll be up to the FSAs, the teachers, and the teacher assistants to keep the families feeling comfortable. The amount of work will be cut down drastically, and staff members will no longer have to spend countless hours tracking parents who are avoiding them in order to do the home visits. So the criteria would be, a big question in this would be feasibility. How easily can this plan be carried out? And the amount of work required for this action plan is very minimal. During open house and parent conferences, we would inform that the parents, didn't have to submit to home visits every year, and little to almost no paperwork will now be required for teachers and FSAs to file after parent meetings. How much money needs to be implemented into the action plan? This action plan will require absolutely nothing. If the plan is not implemented, however, serious pay cuts and potentially a loss of jobs could occur. The urgency of this is extremely urgent for this plan to be put into place. Delay could result in loss of employees, pay cuts, and ultimately loss of funding for the program. And if the plan is not set into place, it is estimated that FACT Inc. will lose funding in as little as 5 years. So I think we should do it for the children. You have any questions?
No, it was a good presentation. I enjoyed it, and I enjoyed working with you. And you had a lot of information.
Thank you.
Thank you.